I'd like us to go straight in and actually start dealing with user verification. So I want to shoot an email to the user as soon as he creates an account, and we're not going to give him access to anything until he actually confirms his email address. Now let's just go ahead and use a test to bring out this functionality. So we have to actually think about what we want to implement. Test: an email is sent to newly registered users. Okay, so how do we want this to look? Let's just say we register new user and then we assert that a particular email was sent. That's all we're going to be doing. So I'll start by creating a user, or actually registering a user, which means I'm going to be visiting my endpoint. So I'll paste this in. So as soon as the user is registered, I want to assert that a mail was sent. So it looks like we're going to be meeting our mail facade from Laravel. And what we're going to be doing is actually saying, Laravel, please switch out the mail driver and give us a fake. And if we want to actually know what this fake method does, let's head over to mail.php, which is in Illuminate support facades, and we'll actually see that we have this fake method. And most of the facades in Laravel actually have this fake method. So it's simply swapping the original mail handler with a fake. We're getting it from support testing fakes. So if we head over to mail fake, all the magic happens. And what it's simply going to do is all the functionality of sending messages, it's not going to do that. So for example, if we check out a send method on this mail fake class, what is happening is it takes in the view that we're actually trying to send data and a callback, and then what it does is simply pushes the view that we passed in into a mailables array, right? It's not sending any emails at all. So what is going to happen is if we call our assert sent method, it's going to check if the view or the mailable that we passed into the assert sent method actually exists on the mailables array right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and use this. So registration, we fake the mailer, so it's gonna swap out and give us a fake mailer, and then right here we can call our assert sent. So mail, assert that a mail was sent, and the name of this email is going to be confirm your email class. Okay, so for now let's just make sure that this email is sent. Now let's just run that test. The expected confirm your email mailable was not sent, right? So failed asserting that false is true. Let's actually send this email. And how are we going to do that? Let's head over to our user registration and we're going to take a look at what happens. There's this event new register that is triggered, and there's also a register method. And this register method, just like our authenticated method, is a simple hook that Laravel gives us to do something once the registration is complete. So let's head over to our registers controller and we're going to override this method. So right down here, I'm going to paste that in. And what I want to actually do is make sure that I also redirect after I'm done with that method, right? Because Laravel is going to call this method and then it's not going to redirect for us. So in our register controller, after everything I need to do, I'll make sure I return this redirect path. So this is where I'm going to be sending my email. So mail send, and before we actually call the send method, let's call the to method and we'll pass in this user object. And we're receiving the user who just got registered into this method. So mail to this user send a new. Let's head over to our test and make sure we are dealing with the same email. So new confirm your email mailable. So I'll import that at the top. And I know it's going to break because we don't yet have that class, but let's let our test tell us that. But the error that we receive is actually not helpful. So what we're going to do is simply attach and assert redirect to this method right here. And Laravel is automatically gonna actually fail this test and then tell us what is going on. So let's try that. And it says response status 500 is not a redirect status code 500. So we need to disable exception handling so we can see what the 500 is all about. Okay, run that again. And there we have our error. It says argument 1 passed to the register method must be an instance of, that should be because we haven't imported this at the top. Let's go ahead and make sure we do so. So use illuminate HTTP request, run that again. Okay, and now it tells us it can't find that confirm email. So let's go ahead and generate that. PHP Artisan make mail confirm your email. And while I'm here, I'm just gonna generate a markdown view for that. So it's just gonna be emails that confirm your email .blade.php, and I like that conversion where this actually matches the view name. Okay, so let's run that. Mail created. Let's make sure we actually import that class at the top before calling our test again. Okay, so in our app, mail directory. Sure enough, we have this. So use app mail, or actually broadcast mail, confirm your email. Let's run that test again, and now it gives us an error saying test feature confirm your email was not sent. Okay, so that's because we haven't also imported this in our test, right? So let's go ahead and do that now. Head over to my registration test and use that at the top. Run that test again, and great, looks like we have a successful test this time around. So we are actually sending a user an email every time he's registered, right? The user actually receives an email to confirm his email address. But what about the underlying functionality that goes with confirming email addresses? Let's tackle that in the next lesson.